Hi guys, hello and welcome to another C# programming tutorial. In this tutorial, we will learn about how to declare a multi-dimensional array and how to process a multi-dimensional array in C#. Typically, in order for you to declare an array in C#, we have been using this technique or this syntax for using square brackets followed by the name of the array, and then if you would like to initialize it at the point of declaration, we have been using the curly braces. However, this is how typically you will declare a single dimensional array. If you have a multi-dimensional array in C#, what you do is within the square brackets, you put a comma. That means you're telling the compiler that I am interested in declaring a two-dimensional array because it's one comma means whatever is before the comma is row and whatever is after the comma is number of columns in a row. So we will, in order for us to declare a multi-dimensional array, we have to have multiple curly braces inside, and each curly brace pair, each curly brace will be separated by a comma, just like this. So if I would like to declare, let's say 4 rows of data, this is how I will have them, 4 rows, separated each row by a comma, and this will declare for me a multi-dimensional array or two-dimensional array with 4 rows, and then I can put X number of values in each row. Now, for example, if I would like to fill in each one of them with some values. As you can see, after I populated this two-dimensional array with values, that I have 4 rows and each row has 4 values. So row number 1 is basically index number 0. Row number 2 is actually index number 1. Row number 3 is index number 2, and so on and so forth. Similarly, each element within the first row is position 0, 1, 2, 3. So if I would like to grab the very first element from the first row, it will be 0, 0. Similarly, if I want to grab the very last element from the last row, it's going to be 3, 3. Now, as you can see that everything is in sequence, and we have also learned in the past that we have used a loop to traverse through an array. Now, since it's a multi-dimensional array, I will be using a nested loop. So I will have a loop to go over the rows, and I'll have a loop to go over the columns. So for example, since I know that there will be 4 total rows, 0 through 3, so I can traverse my outer loop to actually go through 4 times. Very similarly, I can have my inner loop to also go for 4 times, starting with the value of 0, coming to the value of 3 maximum, which is 0 through 3, and then incrementing it by 1. And then I will be displaying my output, which will be that sales followed by sales array, row and column converted to string in currency format. So the first time I'm in cycle, R is 0, C is 0, R is 0, C is 0. So it grabs 1,000. Then R is 0, but C becomes 1, so it now grabs 2,000, the next value in the first row. Then R is 0, C becomes 2, and then in the last one, R is 0, C becomes 3, and that's how I'm able to print everything in the first row. And then it goes out into the outer loop. R gets incremented by 1, R becomes 1, and then I'm grabbing values 1, 0, 1, 1, which is the second row. And like that, the cycle continues. However, since you have learned in the previous classes that instead of you having to remember how many elements there are, you could easily use the array name.length. However, this is a multi-dimensional array, so array name.length will not work. However, what you can do is you can call another method called getLength. So first of all, let me replace this equals to, because length is always 1 greater than the largest value. So we call this method getLength, and for the row level we provided with the value 0, and for the column in each row we provided with the value of 1. So 0 means the first dimension in the two-dimensional array, and 1 means the second dimension. So length of the second dimension and length of the first dimension. That's how we look at it. Now, let me write the read instruction so that the screen can be held. And now let's run this program. As the program runs, you will be able to see that we're going to print out a total of 16 sales, and it'll be grabbing first row, 1,000, 2,000, 1,500, 1,400, as you can see the first 4 values from the first row, followed by 1,000, 3,000, 1,800, 1,600, the values from the second row, and so on and so forth. So that's exactly how you can process a two-dimensional array. If you have 3 dimensions, then you will have another dimension. You'll have another set of curly braces inside each curly brace, and then you will have 3 layers of nested loops. And then again, nested loops do not have to be for loops. It can be any kind of loops. You can have a combination of do while for while for, or they could be of the same type. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next tutorial. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.